everyone. My name is Ritika Bhagat, and I am the host of the Common Unique You show. And today we have Praveen who will be sharing his story, and it's all about his childhood, what are the learnings of his life, the struggle he faced in his childhood, how it impacted him even at this age, and how he deal with the stressful situation, a little bit about him, what he likes, don't like, what does he mean with this and that. So I'm sure you're gonna love this session, and here I'm sharing the link. Please go through it and let me know how you like it. Your feedback and suggestions are most welcome. So very warm welcome to the Common Unique You, Praveen, on this show. And I'm super excited and thrilled to hear your story.
Thank you.
So let's start with what would you like to share, especially about your childhood? What were your dreams?
I was always fascinated to be a mathematician or a scientist to start with. Um, so always thought I'll be an engineer because I love mathematics somehow. I never thought mathematics can be just an MSc mathematics kind of a thing, but uh, I always wanted to be an engineer, and I ended being an engineer. Um,
Wow.
uh, but I never thought that computers was my hobby always, but I never thought that would be my profession. So, but I happily married between the hobby and the profession, which I thought computer and engineering, and became a computer engineer.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And it's good you're talking about yourself because this show is not about the titles, but the person who you are. So we'll be focused more on your values and the belief systems. All right? Thank you. So what kind of child you were? Like you shared that your dream was mathematics and you wanted to be an engineer and you became engineer. What kind of a child you were when you were a kid?
So I was very introvertish, studious, and uh, always within myself, very less socializing kind of a kid. But now I think I'm completely, I developed the opposite of it as well.
Hmm.
So now I can say that I'm very extrovert, equally introvert. So it's not that I lost that love for myself rather. Um, but I do talk, socialize with people and all those stuff. So uh, being a very introvertish kid towards something who is extrovert now.
Interesting. So you are more of an ambivert now, who
Yeah,
balance both introversion and extroversion very well.
that's right.
That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. So what your parents used to tell about you, like what kind of kid you are to the relatives.
So, so always, I mean, there was no question about my academics to start with. So, but I'm always thought to be a kind of a backstage guy who always try to be behind the stage rather than in front, behind the camera rather than posing for the photograph.
Mhm.
So, kind of who doesn't talk, sit, uh, just think to himself kind of a kid. That's how even my parents thought. But there were a lot of expectations all the way as far as the career or the achievements as far as the studies are concerned. Always there were expectations in and around because I was always studious to start with.
Mhm.
But always like, yeah, he doesn't talk much is how I was labeled.
And how does that made you feel when people used to say, okay, he likes to be on big stage, he don't talk much. How does that make you feel?
So I never thought it as a positive to start with. Yes, people thought me intellectual, and that is all fine, but it was never that I wanted to be a kid who doesn't come forward. It's rather, I think, the over the time the personality stayed like that because of the situations, right? I mean, um, So early in my career, I was in the beginning, I was okay-ish, but when I changed my school and I came to a new crowd, I had an incident. How I see why that personality built up over the time. I mean, I can only relate to way it went into my life. Somehow there was an incident that happened when I was actually getting onto the stage that I accidentally slipped, which made people laugh, and I couldn't perform whatever that I was supposed to do. And this happened right in the new school when I was starting a new stage of my life when I was in sixth standard. So that built a rather little keep away from the stage kind of a behavior. Don't talk in the crowd kind of a behavior. And that just developed over the time as something that became as a personality where no, I don't want to talk when people are around. So I kept away, talking much in front of crowd, um, always away from the limelight, kind of a thing. And it just happened to be my personality. But always, it's not that I don't want to talk at all. It's like I was fearing for talking. That's how it really, went on.
And while you're sharing this incident, how does that makes you feel right now?
Right now, I feel that yes, I successfully overcame that. So now I developed the other personality, which I always think that it is an important thing to be there as a
Mm-hmm.
person. So it has been a struggle. So it is not that one day and I just dreamt something and got up and became an extrovert. It doesn't happen in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a persistent effort that went in almost for 6 7 years, I can say easily,
Mm-hmm.
before I started feeling that I can be in this way as well. Right? So right from my +1 +2 days till post engineering and then joining the job, it has been a constant push into a very uncomfortable situation for me, which is never comfortable for me to go and stand in front of crowd or talk with the people. So a constant push towards that really, changed, managed to build something which I really think as the positive side as well. So
Thank you for sharing this a little story of your childhood. Um, I would also like to know what are the learnings from this incident in your life? What did you learn?
um, sometimes, I mean, if you feel that there is something which you are lagging on, which you wanted to do and not able to do it, I think constantly pushing yourself into that uncomfortable zone really helps in achieving it. Um, and it is not like nothing happens magically. That's another learning. And so it's not like I just wanted to do it and tomorrow I did it kind of a thing. But you have to constantly push yourself to that the territory which you wanted to be, but still it is an uncomfortable journey that you will have to go through.
Mhm. So, according to you, be uncomfortable and nothing happens magically. You have to work towards it and you have to keep pushing to
That's
ensure that you come out of that comfortable zone.
exactly, exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Praveen. Thank you. Would you like to share a story of your life which inspired you that time and it still inspires you, that keeps you get going? Any story you can think of, which
Um,
happens with you as a person?
so, so inspiration as I mean is something that I feel which is quite necessary. One thing which always constantly inspired me is I'm a strong disciple of Swami Vivekananda.
Mm-hmm.
So always his quotes or the things which keeps me motivated. Even with the story that I shared in terms of going from a very introvertish towards somebody who can face the crowd, um, this inspiration played a lot. I mean, um, his quotes in terms of you know achieve something and stand up for yourself or whatever it is, right? I mean, they are very catchy, and I can say that it really made me motivated to go towards the same. I can quote the same story as such, where I'm able to turn my personality or go towards this extrovertedness which I wanted to do.
Okay, so what I understood is you're referring back to the story which you just shared a few minutes ago. And to get inspired to come out of that introversion and be into an extroversion, you tried so many things. So, especially you follow Swami Vivekananda, and the quotes inspired you a lot. And it's still inspiring you whenever you need inspiration, you try and read the quotes.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Praveen. So I would like to know, like today, pressures and stress become an inevitable part of our life. What you do when you are in stressful situations or when you feel pressured? What you do as a person?
So I walk, I think.
Okay.
So it gives me time to think about the big picture. Um, so I just stay quiet and walk to reduce the stress, which makes me fit as well. So,
Wonderful.
and the other thing that I do is I listen to philosophical lectures, um, and that also inspires me and also relieves my stress to some extent. Um, so these are the two things which I do it.
Anything else coming to your mind?
Yeah, other things which probably makes me happy or relieve pressure is to play with my son, spend
Mm-hmm.
time with family, um, so spend time with friends in and around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that relieves some of the pressure and takes away from the stress.
Interesting. You shared friends. What does friendship mean to you, Praveen?
Friends means for me
Celebration?
celebration. Um, they keep things light.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that is what is more important. So even in the difficult and most stressful situations, friends can make it very light for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that really helps you to gobble the stress and come out of the situation.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. You also shared about difficult situation. So, would you like to share one difficult situation with us and how did you overcome it?
I mean, most of the difficulties are in and around meeting the expectations for me. That's how I could say. There are a
Mhm.
lot of situations which I can, tell where people expected you to do it and you not able to do it in a very easy way. I think that's what I could actually label as a lot of difficult situations. And most of them are professionally linked to other personally linked difficult situations, because I think
Okay.
from the personal angle, there were not many difficult situations that I felt.
Describe your life learnings and will share with us since
So,
childhood till today.
yeah, till today, I think being emotionally intelligent um, um, is important. Um, you should also be aware of the situation before bouncing on to anything, um, and always be positive. Um, to the darkest of case, being positive makes it very, very simple for you to deal with. Um, and always don't be impulsive. So always keep it and persist with it rather than being impulsive and then going away, right? So these are some of the learnings that I can say.
What else coming to your mind apart from these learnings?
Yeah, being poised, and I think um, I always think that the balanced nature would really help overall. And so, um, yeah, that's all. I think these are the main things that I could think of.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So we have so many viewers who's watching your video. What message would you like to share based on your life experiences?
One message that I would definitely like to share is, I think, live life king size, whatever.
Wow.
Do whatever that you feel you want to achieve, um, and while in the journey, if you have to make yourself uncomfortable, make go towards it. I think, and also at the same time, it's not just about achieving something which is like professional. I think enjoy your life.
Mhm.
That particular balance needs to be there. So don't take anything serious in life. That's
Mhm.
what I could actually say. I think it's take it light and enjoy, because it being live life king size. So do whatever you feel like doing.
Wow, thank you. I'm sure that inspiring. And today, so many people doesn't come out of that comfort zone. So if we really want to achieve something, we need to come out of that and struggled a bit. In the beginning, it will be a struggle, but slowly, steadily, it's easy. It becomes easier to come out. Like you shared your story of introversion, although you were extrovert until that incident happened in the class. Once that incident happened, that made you feel so uncomfortable about that stage, and that you carry those for years, that become so much a personality of yours, that your parents also started thinking that you are more of an introvert kind of person, you doesn't like to talk, you like to be at the backside and all those things. But you did recognize that I was not like that before, and you work towards it, and today you say that you are more of an ambivert, you like your introversion, but you also is extrovert in nature. So that's really very very nice to hear the story. And one of the major problem which people faces is stage fear. So I think it's a message to all the people who have stage fear. Be uncomfortable, what Praveen says, be uncomfortable, get into that, push yourself into those uncomfortable zone and keep learning, keep inspiring, use self-motivating thought, what do you call, quotes, and keep moving. So thank you so much for that, Praveen. Okay, now I have a rapid fire round for you so that we know you a little better. All right, I'm gonna start with, what does happiness mean to you?
Playing with my kid, celebrating with my friends.
Wow. What does struggle mean to you?
Struggle is something which is very necessary for you to get on to the next stage. Um,
Wow. So you're seeing it more from positive side of it. There is always a scope of improvement when there is a struggle. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. What does inspiration mean to you?
Inspiration is the one which sets you the path. Without inspiration, you can't walk towards it, go towards your goal. Your journey becomes wayward without inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So what is the difference between inspiration and goal?
Goal is the end stage where you really reach. Inspiration is where it'll help you to walk towards it. So, so obviously, it's not very easy to go towards the goal. So that's where inspiration will give you the energy required to walk towards it.
Oh, this is beautiful. How I see it, goal is an outcome and inspiration is a process to achieve that outcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. What's your favorite color?
Red.
What's your hobby?
Outdoor games.
Like?
cricket, tennis. These are the two which badminton.
Okay, thank you. If you have to describe yourself in 5 words, what would be those 5 words?
Describe myself, my personality, you mean to say?
You as a person.
Yeah. I am as a person rather very passionate, balanced,
Hmm.
and
3 more.
yeah, and very patient and persistent.
One more. So I can see passionate, balanced, persistent, patient,
And uh, ambitious. So I can.
ambitious. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
One thing if you want to unlearn any habit or any feeling or anything, if you have to unlearn something, what would that be?
So probably a side effect of being ambitious, setting expectations onto myself and rather bog down from the others' expectations. This is one thing which I wanted to unlearn.
And what you want to learn? One thing.
Learning, I mean, it's difficult to choose among many, but I'll try to
One
choose
thing. One thing which you seriously want to learn but you're not able to learn.
being bindas.
Okay. And how can you do that?
I think the first unlearning will help me to do that, I guess.
Woo! We have a solution now. All right. I would like to know how do you feel about this show? What is happening to you?
Um, Very nice. I think it helped me to discover myself. Um, Rather, a lot of things which I never think about myself is what I could actually, hear from me itself. So,
That's wonderful, right? Nobody's telling you who you are.
yeah, yeah, yes,
Exploring who you are.
yeah, yeah. So that's a wonderful process as such.
Thank you. What else is coming to your mind?
In this particular thing is about thinking about myself, which you never find time somehow. Very unusual, but I think that is true for most of the people. So finding time for myself is the biggest thing that I see as an advantage that happened because of this show. So discovering myself. So
And what's the feeling? I still didn't hear the feeling you're
feeling
feeling
is
right now.
great. Feeling is great, right? So uh, the feeling that I have is like probably I have few more things to think about myself. Is the feeling that that I have right now. So yeah, I think yeah. What else is how I'm like still trying to see how strange am I to myself. So
Mhm.
that's the feeling that I had. So I felt very good hearing about myself from me. There is no doubt about it. Wanted to do more as well. That's how it is.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you so much for your time, Praveen. I really had wonderful conversation with you. You are absolutely unique. We all are unique, and that is the commonness we all have. So you shared your uniqueness with us, and I'm sure there will be people who might get inspiration from hearing your story, especially people with stage fear. So I also want to thank all my viewers to be the part of this show. Keep watching, and we'll be meeting more people with their beautiful stories, which can inspire us at one or the other part of our life. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Praveen.